10 years ago this week, a fire at an abandoned house in Accomack County sparked a crime spree. For the next 5 months, night after night, firefighters responded to arson fires all over the county.
And by the time the arsonists were caught, 86 fires had been set. Now, for a rookie reporter here at WBOC, it was an experience he will never forget. And that reporter is now WBOC Assistant News Director Bill Mitch. He joins us alongside WBOC News anchor Steve Hammond. And you guys are here ahead of a special news thing you have coming up tonight. It's called Burning Down Accomack 10 years later.
Yeah.
Thanks for
10
being
years,
here.
right?
10 years.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, Bill, take us back to those days of covering
It
these
was
arsons.
it was weird. 10 years ago, it was the first arson fire was 7 days before I started here. So once I got here, we got a press release from Virginia State Police about somebody setting buildings on fire, and I remember that the reporters and the photographers, we would go there almost every day, almost every night. There was a time, December, January, that myself and several other people, we would go to bed with the scanner app on our phone on and listen to the fire tones like the firefighters would, and then we'd drive down to Accomack County because something was on fire. It was, I mean, it was fun to cover. Obviously, it wasn't great what was happening.
Right. But so, Steve, let me ask you this. You've done some big stories here for a while. Mm-hmm. When did you realize this was a big story?
I would say probably about number 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
You know, and it started to literally build. You know, it's night after night after night, and so. And you know, we had Bill and a couple others, and they were every night. I mean, it was kind of nuts, and it was hard to keep track of it all.
And Bill, you would go down there and you would talk to law enforcement, firefighters.
Talk to everybody, and it felt, for a while, it kind of felt like we're almost in a rut covering the story, because it felt like all of our stories ended up kind of being the same.
It was the exact same story every night. As the anchor who was reading all of this stuff, it was just a different location.
Yeah.
You know.
So what was it like for the firefighters and the police?
Exhausting. That's what I mean. We went back and I did interviews with them now, 10 years later, so we could look back on it. Exhausting. The sheriff, who was a captain at the time, is sheriff now, he told us in 5 months he took 2 days off. 2 days off in 5 months, and it wasn't a regular shift. They'd come in at 9 and they'd work till 3 a.m. because they would go out and they'd put up cameras or wait for somebody to set something on fire. It was wild times.
So heading back down there, is there anything left? Is there any signs of?
There's a few buildings left. Many of the ones that were very burned have been torn down. There's a few left. The fire they got caught at didn't burn very much. It's there, but when it was there 10 years ago, it was almost an open field, and the guy who was working on the house, now it's just overgrown. So they're like, it's hard to see where the fires were, but they're there. A lot of it's gone. It's been 10 years, and people down there, the sense I got is that they're like that it's gone.
Yeah.
Right.
Ready to move on.
Ready to move on. What's interesting, Bill has done a phenomenal job with this, and you, when you watch this special tonight at 7:30, you're going to hear Charles Smith basically confessing. You know, they videotaped the confession, and you're going to hear all this. You're going to hear the 911 calls, and this guy has done a phenomenal job of pulling all of this together. It's been a big lift, and it's really turned out well.
My wife loves true crime documentaries, and that's what I was going for.
And there you were.
That's what I was going for. She had a lot of
Oh my
input.
goodness.
She had a lot of input.
Yeah. Smart man handing off the credit.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's pretty impressive.
Well, there's a whole lot more to it.
Yes.
Burning Down Accomack 10 years later, happening tonight.
Tonight, 7:30.
7:30.
Got to tune in.
Yes.
Looking forward to that. Steve and Bill, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.